Hello everyone, welcome back. Now we will try to create our stylized texturing method. Basically, you can do everything using the normal way, and then just some slight changes, it will make our textures look stylized. So for now, we will try to hide the adjustment layer first, because this we will apply it in the end. And then for the overall, we will just hide it first, and same goes for the details. And we will start everything from the base color. So when creating our stylized texture, there's something we need to consider. Normally, the stylized textures will have less small details. Therefore, some of the roughness here or the patterns here, we might need to do some slight adjustment. So let's start with the wood pattern here. Let's try to change the pattern variation. Maybe make it less obvious. Or maybe we can decrease the tiling. Yes, I think this is good. Maybe we can reduce it even further. Let's say 0.3, 0.3. Same goes to the horizontal one. We reduce the tiling to 0.3. So now I think this is good. One more thing to consider is that the height range. We might need to further reduce the height range here so that the textures become more stylized. Let's try to reduce it to 0.01. Let's put the same figure here. 0.01. Now, seems like everything is reduced. The pattern size become bigger. And then we can try to make the color more obvious or more sharp. Let's try it by increasing the saturation slightly. Maybe the lightness reduced by slightly so that it is more obvious. And maybe we can try to change the hue a little so that the textures looks more stylized. Let's try to make it to somewhere like this and further increase the saturation. Change the hue to a little bit more reddish kind, but not too red. Decrease the lightness slightly. I think this is good. Let's try to remember this number. 0.14, 0.871, and 0.332. We will use this number, or we can simply just copy and remove and replace it. 0.14, 0.871, and 0.332. Well, our colors looks more sharp and more vibrant now. Let's go to our details channel, details folder. Let's turn on thing. Then we can try to check everything. For the small dirt here, this kind of spotty dirt, we can hide it first. The bleaching, maybe we can remain. The darken, we can remove here as well. And then the not where, we leave it there. Then this, I think it is okay. Before moving on, let's save this as another file, another new file. Let's call it cabinet stylized _01. Maybe now we can try to we just leave these two layers here first before we remove them later on. It might come in handy later. For the color here, we might need to do some slight changes on the bleaching part. Let's try to color pick here and then increase the lightness and decrease the saturation. Same goes to the knob wear, and then let's color pick, increase the value, lower the saturation. Right? Let's move on to our overall folder and turn it on. For the scratches and edge wear, we might need to do some slight adjustment. I think the dust can remain. The edge wear, we will try to reduce the break off by controlling our layer settings here. And we can go to our metal edge wear and increase the thickness slightly so that it is more stylized, but reduce the crunch amount in the middle. And then for the scratches, we might need to change the setting as well to make the scratches width more obvious so that it is more stylized, but the quantity reduced. And maybe the length, let's try to check. Can we length? No? Decrease the toweling. Randomize it a bit. Maybe we can slightly increase the quantity. But this time we reduce the width slightly because it is too much. And then the break off, we might need to reduce them. Yep, I think this is good. And now we're moving on to the scratch. Same thing applies. The width I can increase slightly. The scale, maybe we just remain. But the number I can further reduce slightly. Let's say 18. And we randomize a few times. Let's try to adjust the balance as well. And contrast. Maybe further reduce the number, and then as well as the quantity on our crunch rough, the scratches rough. Yes, and then we turn back on our adjustment here. So now this color, this texturing style now is slightly more on the stylized method, but then we still can further increase it by going to our bleaching here, by adding another effects here. Let's go to filter. Now we will add in something called blur slope. You can see from here, by enabling and disable this, you will see the bleaching masking will change to something like so. Okay. Increase the intensity slightly, but the divider increase to 10. Add a little bit blur here and adjust the position slightly, and we come back here. You can see that we adjust the opacity here and there. It will become more stylized, one kind of thing. If you want to further enhance to like mask out the edge, you can add in another filter, which is blur. And then of course the blur, the default value is a little bit too high. You can reduce to 0.15 to have the thing more blend in. If you want to adjust, of course, the intensity of the slope, blur slope, you can adjust as well. And then you can change the intensity divider to adjust your texturing method, your effects on the shape and size of your modeling. Oh, sorry, not modeling, on your texture crunches. So same goes to your knob, where we can add in another filter and select blur slope 10. Increase the intensity slightly. So same thing, we can try this on our edgeware as well. But I would not guarantee it will work, but we can try. Can reduce the intensity to a very small amount. Maybe, or change the intensity divider to 10 and increase slightly on the intensity. And you can try to adjust the parameters to have a better blend on your details. Let's try on the bleaching. Let's go to blur slope. I tried the source tiling. I think this is a very good one. By adjusting the source tiling, you will have a nicer look on your patterns. Let's try the same thing on our scratches. Add filter, plus loop. Increase the nope, the scratches doesn't work. So we'll keep it here, like so. And lastly, if you want, you can go to the adjustment layer here. We add in another layer. Sorry, we do not need this. We can straight away use our sharpen, but then we can add in another filter. Let's move this filter below sharpen so that the sharpen effect is added at the end after the current filter we want. Now we can look for the stylized filter. Stylization. And there's some presets here. I would like to use the colorize or painterly. It will make our looks more like a painted feel. Or you can try to adjust to hand paint. It will be like so, to further enhance our overall texture feel. Colorize became like this. Semi-realistic. Semi-realistic doesn't do much because we already created our texture there. Therefore, you can try out every different one, but normally I would like to use the hand painted or painterly to have this kind of painting effects. If not, we can just leave it here like so. Of course, we can try to further enhance everything, but for now, this is already semi-realistic and become one kind of stylization. If you want, you can further increase your change your style by adding the stylization filter.